Hello everyone. Today I'll be listing my top 10 personal favorite wizards in all of Fairy Tail. I'll mainly be focusing on what magic they use in combination to their characters, so it's not really gonna be about power at all, so bear that in mind, okay? With that said, let's get started, shall we? At number 10, Mavis Vermilion. She has, ever since she was introduced back at the Tenro Island arc, there was always something about her, something amazing about her, in her own way. I will admit though that I liked her a lot better as a ghost than I do now for some reason. Her magic is pretty lit though, even though she pretty much can't hurt anyone I think. From what we know, her illusions are still top of the class, and she can scare the shit out of anyone. Then there is the fact that she is absolutely insane when it comes to strategy from reading all the books back at the Tenro Island during her lonely time with Sarah. Now, not much more to say about Mavis I think, but I really hope we get to see more epic moments like this in this series. At number 9, Warod Sequin. Okay, this fucking guy, like, he's gold, okay? He should be on everyone's list, even if it's just at number 10. Not only is he like one of the kings of Ishgard, but his sense of humor is so dry, it's not even funny, then it just becomes funny again. As for his magic, it is without doubt one of my favorite magic in Fairy Tail. The way he can control like plants or nature, I guess. Sick as fuck, man. I mean, he did put up fight against God Serena even, like, even if it was only briefly, he did kind of put him in a pinch, if you know what I mean. Never before have you seen such a more peaceful character though in Fairy Tail. Well, apart from, I guess, pre-Tenro Seraph, if you know what I mean. Since he was like, well, he was like kind of, let's face it, he was high on tranquilizers, like there's no other way he could have been so fucking kind. Okay, so yeah, I think my love for Ward comes a lot from Fairy Tail Zero though, because we know that he was pretty off as a character to begin with, and then when they are offered to be taught magic by Zeref, he's kind of late, like he's not a gifted guy when it comes to magic, like his teachings comes a lot later on. So yeah, but as we know, he kind of but then in the present he's actually one of the top 4 of Fiore, so I mean, yeah, he did actually get a little bit better than he started off. Okay, at number 8, Claire Corona. This lady is not too powerful if you compare her with some other characters, but her magic is pretty damn cool. So for those who don't remember for some reason, her magic is pretty much extending her hair as well as igniting it. Her character though, oh boy, where do I start, man? I mean, when we first get introduced to her, he was like taken as the most psychotic character ever seen on Fairy Tail, but then we of course find that it wasn't like that at all. I mean, she was abused by Ivan, which is, you know, Makarov's son. Not to mention the fact that she's from one of the most peaceful villages ever. And then if you join, obviously, then you join Raventail. I mean, you can imagine what that's gonna do to you. But speaking of her village, by the way, Sun Village arc was probably one of my favorite arcs, to be honest. Not the top arc, but one of them for sure. I mean, at least top 5. I mean, she basically became friends with Lucy in the end, so it just goes to show you, and don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, at number 7, we got Jackal. Alright guys, let me just tell you, Jackal was such hype for me when we first saw him in the manga. I absolutely love his design, not to mention his magic. I mean curse, sorry. The confidence of Jackal is what truly puts him on this list for me. He's so certain he'll curb stomp like Natsu, and then when they meet, like when they clash, it's the other way around. I mean, Natsu fucking wrecks this guy. And I think that's kinda one of the problems for me, because since I love this, he's definitely my favorite Tartarus member, by the way, like there's no fucking contest. Then when he meets Natsu, like at the I guess closer to the end of the Tartarus, not quite at the end, but closer to the end, when she uses the Uranometria. I mean, fuck me, I was hoping he would do something bad to her, but he rarely touches Lucy. I mean, Lucy, come on. Okay, anyway, let me continue. So Jackal, yeah, his magic. Oh, sorry, curses again. His explosions, I fucking love them. The way he can use them in such a wide range, like he can, like we saw against Natsu when he kind of trapped 2 people, and you know, if they kind of exited their thing or something, I don't remember exactly, but then they would explode essentially, and that was fucking crazy. So yeah, I mean, physical contact with this guy is also like, you know, unless you're like Natsu, like bye bye. Okay, at number 6, Kagura Mikazushi. Okay, Kagura is without a doubt worthy of number 6. I don't have too much to say, but the little I have is enough. But first off, she combines her ability to use a katana with gravity magic, as seen in her fights against Yukino and some other fights too. But I think her fight against Yukino was what caught my interest in Kagura, in the GMG arc, of course. So during that fight we see Kagura, she absolutely tears through Libra's gravity magic, which Yukino has summoned, right? And then in the Alvarez arc, during their encounter with Nineheart, when she finally, her brother is basically reanimated as an Historia, right? And obviously, as we know, Jalal kind of killed the original Simon, and Jalal is also there. I'm not sure if he's there to begin with, I think he is. And then character development is on point here, because he gets knocked out and she actually saves his life. And yeah, I think that's just amazing. I mean, that kind of character development, I mean, it's not really gradual character development. It's very from A to Z, right away. Anyway, number 5, Grey Fullbuster. Some people will without doubt put Grey at number 1, and I can see why. I mean, I don't blame you. He's an absolute beast, and when it comes to fighting, to be honest, I didn't really like Grey all that much until he inherited the Silver's Devil Slayer magic, and that's when Grey became truly significant for me, and I am glad that it did happen. His personality is what dictates this spot though, although we don't really get to see much of his comedic side anymore, referring to the stripping part mostly, of course. We still get some sick moments though, even if they're not comedic ones. His absolute resolve to defeat END is pretty much he pretty much declares war on Natsu when they lay eyes on each other after he finds out that Natsu is END. That just goes to show you his resolve. Shit, man. He's willing to pretty much turn his childhood friend instantly into an enemy because he wants to defeat END for his father. Yeah, and I mean, he commits seppuku. That's pretty cool too. At number 4, Gildarts Clive. Do I even need to explain this? Fine, I guess I will. I mean, people may say he's Chang's ripoff, but no. He may be inspired by Chang's, but he's not a fucking ripoff. That's just an insult to Gildarts. Now, okay, here's the deal on why I love Gildarts so much. Every fucking time this guy makes an appearance, it's dramatic as fuck. And the very first time he was shown, they used the Gildarts shift, that was the craziest shit ever at the time. Of course, at the time it wasn't really a fucking dark as shit as it is now, so yeah. And and we get to see his power, and he just fucking swipes Natsu up into the roof like he's like a fucking ant or something. That was fucking amazing at the time. Anyway, and then during the Alvarez arc, his appearance, I mean, it's not quite what it was back in the day, but it's still pretty cool. When you see, the first thing he does when he appears is pretty much as one-shot God Serena. Even if it is the reanimation of God Serena, he does it in one blow, and that's wow, man. His magic though, I fucking love his magic. It's definitely within my top 5 magic in Fairy Tail. My favorite Gildarts moment might actually be during the Tenro Island arc, when Gildarts one-shots Blue Note. He fucking uppercuts him into orbit. I mean, that's fucking insane, that level of power. Okay, at number 3, Brandish Mew. Or Mew, I don't know how to pronounce her surname, but anyway. Yeah, Brandish at number 3, because she's my most loved Spriggan to begin with. Her personality is a bit bipolar, which is another reason why I kinda like her. I mean, one moment she's hellbent on taking a bath with you, and the next she just wants to fucking kill you or something. I mean, you just never know. Another thing why I like her is her magic, of course. I mean, if you get on Brandish's wrong side, I mean, you're dead. She will shrink down your homeland into a fucking dice. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's not much to say on her. I mean, she seems to be very bipolar in her thinking. Like, one moment she's with Alvarez, the other she's with Fairy Tail, kinda. I mean, up until recently she was kinda still on Alvarez's side, but I think she's going to join Fairy Tail anyway. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, her magic and her bipolar personality, I love Brandish so much because of this. And of course we know she has history with, well, not with Lucy, but Lucy and Brandish has similar history. So yeah, anyway. Now, Jalal at number 2. Alright. This man is a fucking monster when he gets serious, man. Ever since he was restored to a good person, I have loved Jalal, and let me tell you why. I mean, his magic is whatever the fuck he wants, it seems. I mean, I'm not even sure he has one type of magic. It seems to be like kinda random. He just has Meteor, he has, you know, Grand Chariot, Sema, or whatever it's called. And the fact that he can borrow someone else's magic, like he has, during the GMG arc, he posed as Mystigan, right? He used Mystigan's magic, but he didn't, like, it's not like he spent years to train for it. Like, how can you just take someone else's magic? That's crazy. That must take some serious fucking power, man. I'm not even joking. Like, now his power is probably my biggest reason for taking him, even though I said it's not really based on power, but I just think he's a cool fucking character, man. And his personality, though, like, there is one thing here, and I don't really like. Well, I kind of like it, but it's not an interesting personality. He's very dull. I mean, he seems to be very much like, oh, I'm gonna protect you, but he doesn't seem to show that much emotion, if you know what I mean. He's very emotionless, kind of neutral. As long as he gets shit done, he's cool with it, basically. So yeah, he's definitely my number 2. Now, okay, before I go into number 1, there's something you should know, and that is, you won't be happy with my pick. Well, at least some of you won't, but you already know that because you clearly know who's about to be called out. But in case you don't, at number 1, at last, we have none other than Natsu Dragneel. Yes, he's without doubt my absolute favorite in Fairy Tail, but not because he's the main character as most people might be thinking. Absolutely not. I mean, I love his character, his magic, and his backstory. Lots of people in Fairy Tail have tragic childhoods. Natsu kind of, well, he doesn't have a tragic childhood, but he was left alone, so I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it's tragic in a way, but now the biggest reason Natsu is my boy is because I am a sucker for fire magic, or fire anything when it comes to anime. I just fucking love fire, but seriously, I'm not a fire, I swear. Okay, but his personality is of course one of a kind. The biggest goofball in the series, yet potentially the most powerful in the series as well. At least he will be in the future. But you mess with Natsu for real and you dead, man. Like, this guy will turn you into a barbecue. My final reason for Natsu being number 1. I'm absolutely in love with his design. The clothes, the hair, everything, man. He's just perfect for me. Anyway, that was my list of my top 10 favorite characters in Fairy Tail. Let me know what you think of this list, and I'd love to hear what you think, so do comment down below of either what you think of my picks, or share your own picks if you would like. Anyway, if you did, please like this video and subscribe if you're new. Bye.